quadruple charge.
To me, next season we can win the quadruple. People might not laugh. The quadruple. Absolutely, listen. And the reason why I say that is because for Leicester to win the league, that means anything can happen.
Trophies are Arsenal going to win this season, and which ones?
We're going to win 2. We're going to win the FA Cup and the Premier League.
Oh, the Gunners!
Dominant in the Premier League and the FA Cup. We always seem to win.
The best team in England. We're in the league. We're going to the Champions League. We're going to the FA Cup. And whatever the Milk Cup's called these days. We're going to do a lot. We're going to do all 4 of them, pals. At least 2.
I think that Arsenal is going to do well in the Champions League. In the Champions League and the Premier League. And this is time to get the trophy.
They will win the Champions League, the Premier League, and the FA Cup. We're going to win them all, mate. Every single one of them. Champions League, Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup. Done. FA Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. And why? Best team in the land.
Well, all you Ladbroke fans and everybody else who support the Arsenal, we're not in the mix anymore. We are sailing across with something special this year.
Welcome back, family, to Northside LDN Caramba, and we are back. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. We've got a lot to get through today. A lot of clips of a lot of Arsenal fans talking spicy. You know what I mean? Make sure you're liking and subscribing. We got Arsenal will win the quad and are the best team in the planet. We also got Ekitike. Gyökeres is better than Ekitike. Let's get straight into it. Big up to everyone that's locked in. We don't waste no time around there. Let's get to the clips. Rebenta the clips. Let's go, Pucaria.
Always based on form and fitness. Starting off with Raya versus Alisson. David Raya, it's 2026. He's better with his feet. I think he's a more consistent goalkeeper and he's not injury prone.
I'm growing depressed. I'm growing very, very, very depressed.
Wait. Let's just stop it right there. In what world is David Raya better than Alisson? Based on what? Because it ain't based on trophies. It ain't based on what he's done in his career. Where's David Raya? Now, I'm not saying that David Raya ain't a good goalkeeper. Yeah, let me just get that in before some Arsenal fans are going to get very upset. I ain't saying he ain't a good goalkeeper. But better than Alisson, where? In what? What has he achieved? What has he achieved? Another goalkeeper that's got potential to be a great goalkeeper. He hasn't proved anything. I don't know where this happened. I don't know why this happens with my fan base, but they love to dismiss proven winners over players in my team that are yet not even a quarter of their trophy haul, or even shown to be champions and be winners. Bro, Alisson was up there with Ederson. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is a Premier League winner, Champions League winner, won multiple trophies, multiple cups. David Raya is actually a good, you know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. It's actually crazy. Like, at what? Oh, because he's better with his feet. Sorry, bro. That's not, this is what they tried to do with Havertz. Oh, it's not about his goal scoring. It's about what he brings to the team. No. Strikers about scoring goals. Goalkeepers is about turning up in the pivotal games, finals, making pivotal saves that lead your team to winning trophies. And that has to go to Alisson because he's been there and done that. Raya still has a lot to prove. So I don't know, wild take. But let's continue.
Zubimendi or Gravenberch?
That is a closer one, but again, based on this season, current form, I have to go Zubimendi. I think he's the more intelligent.
What? What is Piers Morgan talking about? Based on form, Zubimendi's been trash this season. He was good against Leeds. That's showing you exactly his level this season, bro. In what planet is Zubimendi better than Gravenberch? At what? Not better defensively, not better positionally, not better technically. What is he better than, bro? Let's just be honest now. What is this pucaria, bro? What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Based on what? Zubimendi has cost us against Chelsea. He cost us against United. He cost us against Sunderland. Bro, this guy has been getting pressed the F out of, and we're talking about Zubimendi. No. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. He is showing nothing. We still need to have the uncomfortable conversation about is Zubimendi better than Partey, because that was the original debate. Now you want to talk about Gravenberch. Based on form, he's been rubbish this season. This is what I don't understand with these lies. But let's continue, man. Let's continue. Welcome to my club. This is what they do. This is what they do. They overgas everything. Let's continue.
Footballer.
Martin Ødegaard or Dominic Szoboszlai.
Oh, this is close. Martin Ødegaard.
Apologise for that. Apologise for that. Apologise for that. Hold on, right here. Hold on. Stay with me. Saka or Gakpo.
Saka, Madueke. I'd bring Waneri back in, see what Raheem Sterling's up to.
Well, let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
You're
Odegaard based on form. His form's been so good that Kai Havertz came back from injury and Arteta made him hold bench against Leeds. That's how great Odegaard's been this season. He's been amazing. That's how great he's been for the last 2 seasons. This guy's been holding bench. This is a mad take. Let's continue.
Gyökeres or Ekitike. Don't even think about it.
I tell you what, if you look at our record when Gyökeres plays, the way he's stretching centre back. No.
What the fuck? An entire Arsenal 11 in the Liverpool.
Crazy. Let's VAR that again. Yeah. Based on the way we look when Gyökeres plays, bro. Crazy. Man is putting Gyökeres over Ekitike. This is crazy.
You didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Gyökeres or Ekitike. Don't even think about it.
I tell you what, if you look at our record when Gyökeres plays, the way he's stretching centre back. No.
What the fuck? An entire Arsenal 11 in the Liverpool.
Let's just pause it right there. What are you talking about? That Gyökeres is better than Ekitike at what? Can't be goal scoring. Gyökeres 5 this season, Ekitike 10. Ekitike has been performing the whole season. Even with this Liverpool team looking like a hot mess. I know they slapped up. He got a brace yesterday against Newcastle. Yeah. Even the second goal that Ekitike scored, I don't see Gyökeres doing that. Man just kicked the ball, kicked it past the defender, outpaced him, and just put it bottom corner. Gyökeres doesn't do that. And I'm a fan of Gyökeres. I actually think Gyökeres is a good striker, but he's a limited striker. I see Ekitike, his link-up plays better, technical ability is better, his finishing is better, his movement in the box has been better. What are we talking about here? What is this based on? This is based on hopium. As it currently stands, Ekitike is the better striker without a doubt. He's been more consistent. He's adapted to the league better. His finishing, he's scored a variety of different types of goals. Gyökeres most of the time wants it off the shoulder of the defender, and even then, he still gets caught up. That through ball from Trossard over the top into Gyökeres, where he's 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Ekitike would have buried that yesterday. I know Gyökeres scored the goal with the assist from Madueke, but he misses a lot of opportunities. Ekitike buries the majority of his opportunities. And he actually can drop in deep and do the link-up thing and actually score goals on a consistent basis. He buries his opportunities. Gyökeres doesn't do that. Gyökeres is extremely limited. And this guy is slower than Ekitike, misses a lot of opportunities, and doesn't bury a lot of his opportunities. In what aspect is Gyökeres better? Gyökeres is an extremely limited out-and-out goal scorer. And even then, he fails a lot. He fails a lot of opportunities to bury his chances as well. Let's just be honest about it. He's improved, but let's not do this. Let's not do this like we haven't been frustrated with Gyökeres this season. He scored after he scored a bunch of goals against Leeds, then he went on a goal drought. Then he scored against Burnley, then he went on a goal drought. Just because he scored the other day, what was it, against Inter, and then he scored against Leeds, let's not go on like he's been consistent. If we want to go as to why, we can go into the manager. That's another conversation. But as player for player, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Ekitike, right now, is a better striker than Gyökeres. Maybe Gyökeres will, as he gets used to the Premier League, but listen, even then, I can see certain attributes he doesn't have. Gyökeres doesn't have certain attributes. I can already tell. Not at this level. You could do it at Sporting, but over here, you ain't doing it. So let's just be real. Let's just be honest. I don't understand why Arsenal fans always want to overgas the players and our players are better than every single player out there. This is crazy, bro. But Piers Morgan, I don't expect any less. This is exactly what I expect from that side of my fan base, to overgas everything. We're the most incredible team. This and that. Okay, let's continue. Let's get into the next one. Rebenta the video.
But when you see yourselves where you are in the Champions League, won 7 out of 7, would you almost look and think we can win more than just the league here? There's a lot on the table. If we could have a really, really special season.
I don't want to look too far ahead because realistically, I'll take the league and I'll walk off. Anything else would be a bonus. But we have 2 teams. We have the squad to compete on all 4 fronts. Zero excuse not to. And the first time that I came here, I said the only thing that's stopping.
Oh, did you see that? Zero excuse not to win. We've got the squad. There's zero excuse. Cool. End of the season, if we don't win it, I don't want to hear anything about refs, injuries, this, that. Man just said there's zero excuse because we've got the squad. Arsenal have got the squad to compete on all fronts and win a trophy.
This is us, and people took the piss out of it, but it's a fact. The only team that will stop us is us. We are the best team on the planet.
If you don't win the league, will that be the biggest bottle job?
We're the best team in the planet. Well, then go win the Champions League if you're the best team in the planet, then, innit? Then we have to go out there and win the Champions League. That's the reality. If we're the best team in the planet, well, we're going up against the best teams in Europe. So we have to, zero excuses, we have to win the Champions League. Because based on what you just said, we're the best team in the planet. So we should go out there and prove that. We should go out there and prove that. Man didn't say the best team in England. Man said the best team in the planet. No problem. No problem. Please make sure that we win the Champions League. Because as you said, if we don't win the Champions League, zero excuses. We've got the squad and we're the best team on the planet. I don't know where these men come out with this. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we're going to hold you to that. Let's continue, bro.
In Premier League history?
I think it would be, yeah. I think it would be because I think that we're head and shoulders above the rest. You look around, City, Pep might be leaving. There's a little bit of panic, I think, at City. Liverpool are a little bit of a mess, uncertainty with the manager. Chelsea, I mean, Rory wants the manager out already. Tottenham are barely even worth a mention. United,
We're back.
potentially back. We're at a point in time now where I think Arteta has epitomised the phrase trust the process, because we've been through years of, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, and now we're here. We've got the best squad, I think, in Europe. I don't think that's even debatable. All the players are friends on and off the pitch. Arteta's handpicked all the...
What's the players being friends got to do with anything? Are they good enough or they're not? They're here to do a professional job. It is actually their job. I don't care if they're friends or not. A man is talking about like we're gonna do everything and there's no excuse. Cool, no problem. Make sure we're gonna hold you to all of this. We're gonna hold you to all of this. You know what I mean? The process is paying off. No problem.
These players, and I think we're set up to dominate for the next 4 or 5 years. It's just if we can get used to doing that, I think more will come.
I know you just want...
Wow, we can dominate for the next 4 or 5 years. Okay, Arsenal can dominate for the next 4 or 5 years. Playing for own goals and set pieces, being inconsistent in the league. Very inconsistent. Not putting teams to bed the majority of the time. Turning up only for 45 minutes. We can dominate. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. No problem. We're going to dominate for the next 4 or 5 years. Okay. Let's just focus on dominating this season. Let's just focus since everybody else is out the race. Man just said Man City's out the race, Liverpool out the race, everybody's out the race. It's our favorite. So if we don't win it, like you said, zero excuses. Please don't move the goalpost. Please don't change your tone at the end of the season. Please do not give us excuses as to why we didn't achieve. Make sure you hold to your word, innit? Because a lot of times with this fan base, when things go a bit shaky, that's when they start moving. Oh yeah, but context. Man ain't talking about context right now because man's feeling good. We're in all competitions. Everything's good. No problem. I have no problem with that. Just stick to that when it's time to now talk about this manager bottling it if he doesn't win the league, innit? Let's continue.
Is it us? Because of this man, we score set pieces religiously. Nicholas Jova witness. Thanks to Nicholas Jova, we are at the top of Mount Everest. When defenders see the corner coming in, they say, but we Everest. Who is going to win the league?
You hear that? They're all happy now. We beat Leeds, yeah, which I did think was an overall good performance, yeah. But now they're saying, now they're clowning it. Against Man United, we don't like this style of play. We have to change. It's not good enough. Now when it's against Leeds, it's okay. I don't care about set pieces. The set piece coaches. I love the way that we just play for set piece. I love it. Cool. It's not what you man was saying after the Man U game. Wasn't what you were saying after the Man U game. But let's continue. Remember that.
Is it us?
5 things we learned from Leeds 0, Arsenal 4. That was proper. That was a proper performance off the back of 3 poor performances and results in the Premier League that we needed to show that we could do that. It was dominant, it was controlled, and it was clinical. That we've been crying out for that for a long, long time, to be honest. Just a game where, you go 1-0 up, 2-0 up, you don't concede anything, you give the opposition nothing, and then you see the game out in the second half. It was just nice. And Leeds are no joke, especially at home at Elland Road. That was only their 3rd defeat of the season at Elland Road. They've only conceded 17 goals in total, and 4 of them just came at the hands of us. Set piece again, ole. People are going to be critical of it. People are going to complain about it. People are going to talk about how this isn't proper football. This is a brilliant tool to have. In that first half, we broke the game open, we unlocked the game through those set pieces, and there is such a fear about Arsenal set pieces now that it's causing unforced errors. That second one, the own goal from Darlow, we didn't really even have to do anything. It's a great ball in from Madueke, but
the problem isn't using it as a tool. The problem is it's become our identity, and more times than not, we use it as a crutch to take away from how bad we play in a lot of games. That's the problem. Using it as a tool is completely fine. It should be an addition. It shouldn't be the identity of the way that we play. That's the problem, and that's why. Because at the end of the day, it's part of the game. You can use it, but you shouldn't be leaning on it like a crutch, like we're Stoke FC. That's the problem. But let's continue.
It's such a good tool. I don't think our depth has been as impactful recently as I'd have liked it to be. We've been bringing on subs and not really going up a gear in games. But today, Madueke steps in for Bukayo Saka, does very well. And look, as much as people have been critical of some of those signings, the lack of a drop-off from certain players getting injured now is very notable. And it wasn't just him. Gabriel Jesus comes off the bench, wonderful from him. And for the 3rd goal too, Martinelli, who had come on, played into by Ødegaard. That was a great assist by Martinelli. And that is what we want to see. We saw it more earlier in the season. Great to see it again. Speaking of Ødegaard, a big decision by Mikel Arteta today to drop him. He was dropped for Kai Havertz. And it was a big call, but it was the right call. Because it was always going to be a physical test, especially in the first half today. And Havertz provides that physical side of the game whilst also having the technical and intelligent side of.
What are you Piers Morgan? What are you talking about, bro? Not Graham, bro. What is this guy talking about? Yeah, I mean, Graham Norton looking Philo da puta. You're talking rubbish. Havertz was rubbish yesterday. He was rubbish against Leeds. He didn't do anything. Man said, the physicality. What physicality? He was ghost. Invisibility cloak like Harry Potter. I didn't see this guy. Man like baby reindeer. Weren't doing anything, bro. He looked like he just got touched by the dinner lady and baby reindeer, bro. He weren't doing anything. What are you talking about? What are you talking? He was rubbish. He was anonymous. Havertz and Trossard were anonymous against Leeds. That's a fact. He was rubbish. What physicality? What vision? What link-up play? What did he do? Madueke was the one providing for Gyökeres. Even Nelly came on and was impactful. Jesus came on and impacted. He did nothing. Kai Havertz did absolutely nothing. This is what I'm saying with these men. These men don't watch football, bro. How can you tell me, and you can't even name one thing that he did, that Kai Havertz, this is what we need when he plays in the 10, the link-up play with the striker. He didn't do anything against Leeds. He didn't create anything. You know what I'm saying? Man like Graham Norton, bro. Man talking rubbish. Bro, that baby reindeer looking Philo da puta did nothing, bro. What are you talking about? Bro, I swear down, all of this to glaze off Havertz, you know. All of this to glaze off Havertz. This is crazy, bro. Havertz was he was stinky, bro. He had a good game against Kyrat. Against Leeds, he was rubbish. That's the truth. I didn't even see him. That's how bad he was. And that's why he got subbed off.
The game. And so, yeah, dropping your captain like that is big. But it worked. And then bringing on Ødegaard in the second half when Leeds were growing back into the game, we needed to get our foot on the ball. That was perfect. Credit to Victor Gyökeres. Do you know what? Even if the performances still aren't at the level that we think or expect them to be, he is chipping in now. That is 4 goals, 2 assists in his last 6 games. 6 goal contributions in 6 games.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Man is praising Kai Havertz after a stinker of a performance. I'll give it to you. He played well against Kai Rat. It's Kai Rat. It's Kai Rat. You know what I mean? He was rubbish against Leeds. Why not just say the truth? He was trash. And then Odegaard came on. Odegaard didn't play well when he came on. It was the same old nonsense. He made a simple pass for Jesus' assist. And to be honest, Jesus was the one that worked it to actually, he's the one that cut the defender back, beat 2 of the defenders, cut it back, and then shot and created that situation for himself. Odegaard just played the clear and obvious pass. These men, I swear down, they applaud the bare minimum. It's actually embarrassing, but welcome to Arsenal Football Club, bro. This is what they do around here. You know what I mean? Praising the bare minimum. Kai Havertz didn't do anything. I'll tell you, if he had a good performance against Kai Rat, he did. Against Leeds, he was absolutely shocking. Let's get to more clips. Let's get to more clippage.
One-off bad game that followed a couple of difficult games in the Premier League where we've seen similar problems.
Okay. Now, this is after the Man United game. And you see how the way they're speaking is different. Oh, it wasn't just a bad game against Man United. It wasn't just a one-off bad game. We've had a lot of bad games. Oh, it's not like I didn't tell you, Filus da puta, but you man said, stop complaining. Why are you looking at negative? Get behind the team. Why are you talking about performances? We got the win, though, but we got the draw, though, but we managed to get over the line, though. Now, man, want to talk about performances. Now, man, want to talk about actually, you know what? Reflecting back on the season after the L to Man United, it actually hasn't been that great this season. We haven't looked that great. We've got a handful of good games that we've performed in this season, but we've had a lot of performances this season that ain't been good. Now, man, want to have the conversation. See how the way they speak changes. Let's continue. It's not like this side of the fan base ain't been calling it out. Let's continue.
To the point where you're like, it is a wobble and we do need to course correct. I think to an extent we were perhaps unfortunate to actually come away with a defeat. It was a poor performance, but 9 times out of 10 I don't actually think you lose that game. You can see 2 worldies, you kind of have to hold your hands up and say fair enough. But no, there is reason for Arsenal fans to be anxious, and I do think some fans have been accused of overreacting, and maybe some have, but I think a lot of the reaction has been fairly justified.
I agree with everything you said.
Okay. So Piers Morgan has told us that, it's okay. It's okay to call out bad performances now. Now it's okay to call out the way, to look back on the season so far and analyze performances and analyze players out of form, analyze the team lineup, analyze the way that the manager, his in-game management, and the fact that it hasn't been as great as it's been painted out to be by that side of the fan base. Now we're allowed to talk about it. Now we can have conversations. Now we can actually talk about these things. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy because when we're drawing to Chelsea and Sunderland, and when we're we slapped up at Aston Villa. It's okay. We don't have to talk about performances. When we're just about getting over the line 1-0 against Everton, it's like, don't talk about the performances. Then when you get the L, let's start looking at where things are going wrong. Let's do an analysis. Why don't we do an analysis before that? It's called prevention. There's a word in England, it's called prevention. And if you look at what's going wrong, then you can analyze and you can fix and you can bring a solution. This fan base only want to look at things when we start getting slapped in the face, when we bottle things, when we start dropping points, too many points, or we take the L, or we go out the cup. And this is why I'm always on their case. Because it's one way of analyzing things when things appear, and let me put in quotation mark, appear to be going good. And then when things go bad, they start sounding like us. But when I talk like this, you're twerking for rivals. You man sound like you're twerking for rivals. Please continue.
I think it's justified to a degree that we're feeling a bit tense. And you're right, it feels a bit deeper than just, all right, you had a bad day, you lost to 2 worldies and a mistake and you keep it moving. There feels something a little bit deeper than that because, I know it's an old cliche, but there's ways to lose a game of football. You're knocking on the door, you're forcing Lemons into loads of saves, all the field tilt possession, the shots, all that's in your favour, and you look at it and you go, how did we lose that game? It wasn't like that. It was a game that had, for me, tension in every pass, loads of heavy touches, and actually United weren't really on us. Like it didn't feel like that first 30 minutes they were really aggressive and stopping us playing a game or a run of 3 Premier League games. It's 4 years of having a really good side, capable of winning trophies, and we're going, oh, are those the bad habits that we saw before? And I think that's where we're worried.
Would you put games that
Okay now. Now man wanna talk about, oh, we're looking at these performances and we're thinking, oh, are these the bad habits that led to us not getting over the line? Oh, now man wanna talk about these things. Now man wanna talk about these things. How many times am I on this channel and I'm talking about signs and things we're repeatedly doing that has led to us not getting over the line? Now, when the top gooner side of the fan base say it, we have to do an analysis. Yep, it's time to do an analysis. Have I not been? How many times? Eu tô cansado de repetir a mesma porcaria todos os dias, até ponto que gajo já não aguenta mais. I've been saying this how long? We're not playing for 90 minutes. We keep playing for set pieces. Relying on own goals is ridiculous. Relying on set pieces is not going to get you over the line. How many times have I said there's certain players getting game time that deserve to be in the squad? Ethan should have gotten a lot more minutes. Zubimendi has had games where he deserves to be benched. Odegaard has been trash this season. Overall, he has been trash. Why is Eze looking so bad? Have I not been saying all of this? Have I not been saying all of this? But no. Now we can do analysis. Now we can start talking about this. Now it's okay to have a conversation about this. This is ridiculous, bro. This is absolutely ridiculous. The shamelessness of this fan base, how they dismiss us when we call things out early and say that you're reactionary, you're being negative, you're looking for negatives. Yeah, what are you man saying now? What are you man saying now? Agora, abre a boca agora. Huh? Abre a boca. Eu quero ouvir. Huh? Tá falar bué da merda. Agora agora é a oportunidade para falar tuas merdas. Now tell me something. Because when I say this, I'm negative. When I say all of this, I'm negative. Who get filho da puta is fucking revving his bike, man? Shut up, man. I'm trying to cook the top gooners, man. Cala a boca. Now we want to have analysis. Now vamos fazer analysis. Feijões da merda. These man, bro, they don't fool me. Let's go back on that. Let's VAR that. Let's VAR that bit. You know what I mean? Let's VAR that bit. Let's go back. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back. There we go.
Or a run of 3 Premier League games. It's 4 years of having a really good side, capable of winning trophies, and we're going, oh, are those the bad habits that we saw before? And I think that's where we're worried.
Would you put games this season haven't been easy? You know, even where we have been winning games, other than like Spurs and Villa, it's been late winners against Wolves at home, games like that, where even though you come out with a win, it's unsettling for the fan base. And so when you're going into that week after week after week,
okay. Okay, Piz. Now you want to talk facts. Now you want to do analysis. I told you. Everyone that watches my channel already knows. Have I not been saying this? That we've not been looking convincing all season. Now these man, when we get the L against Man United, let's have a reflection. Let's start talking about how we didn't turn up against certain games, how we needed... how we actually needed 2 on goals to beat Wolves, how we couldn't beat 10-man Chelsea, how we actually bottled it against Sunderland when we were 2-1 up. Now all of a sudden, bro, let's do an analysis. Cala boca, so filo da puta. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not hearing nothing from this Basil Brush looking filo da puta that told me, what did he say about me? Oh, Northside lacks barking. What did he say? He said it on Twitter, because he knows man ain't on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? He lacks barking. Well, why are you barking? You know what I'm saying? Who let the dogs out, filo da puta? You know what I'm saying? Who let the dogs out? Because you're looking like you got fleas right now. Because you're sounding just like me. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what these men are talking about. Now they're all sounding like North. You can hold that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how you, man, and now you're looking at football. Oh, I'm a level-headed fan. I'm not a reactionary fan. But why are you sounding like me and Lee? Why are you sounding like me and DJB? Why are you sounding like me and Rashid? Why are you sounding like me and everybody else in the chat? Oh, you man are sounding very negative. Get behind the process. Get behind the team. If you can't see what Arteta's doing, you can F off down the lane. Isn't that what you told us? Aguenta.
And then you stop getting the wins as well. And we can all see the problems in terms of attacking and creating opportunities. And I think any of us know what the solution is in terms of, I don't know what best attackers right now. I don't think Arteta knows what our best is right now. I just think all of these things adding up a little bit. It's on the bus to kind
of... Don't know the solution. Okay. It's on the players. What accountability? Why is it accountability for the players? I thought we don't do accountability here at Arsenal. You must get behind the players. Don't hold the players accountable. Don't hold the manager accountable. We're not allowed accountability because you're being negative, reactionary, being a fake fan. I don't know why these men are giving us this type of analysis, because I've been told, well, we're top of the Champions League, we're top of the Prem, we're doing this, we're in all our competitions. But why is man being negative then? Why is man being negative? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's mad how they're sounding like us, innit? It's mad. It's mad. But it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Let's continue. You know what I'm saying?
Very vague answer that I don't think is going to bring any real insight, but I think it is a bit the manager. I think it is a bit the individuals. I think it is a bit the cohesion of the team. There's one clip, and I know sometimes you can overanalyze a clip and go, oh, that defines a player, but I really felt that this did. There's a moment where I think Timber has the ball and he plays it into Ødegaard, and he's received it in between two United players, and rather than just turning and running into the open space, he sort of drops the shoulder, turns back inside and faces forward again. And this little moment, so I'm thinking, that's the bit, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the pass through. And if I'm Arteta, I'm not Arteta, I'll never be Arteta, but I imagine Arteta might look at that and go, why didn't you just turn into the open space and you've cut through that first line of press? And then I do look at Arteta again. He's forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. But I can't help but feel like he doesn't platform the players best. I think Eze is a left pocket player, not a right pocket player, who should be drifting into that space, not sitting in it. I think Ødegaard is an 8 who should be running a game of football, not pulling out wide into areas because he's trying to get out the block. I don't think Saka should be out on the touchline. I want him central. I don't think Gyökeres should be trying to hold up the ball. I want him running the channels every time and waiting for that ball into the box. I don't want Timber and Nkapie high in the pocket. I want them in build-up and in rest defence, waiting to win possession back. Again, that's just some players that I look at and I think, are we really putting them in the right areas of the pitch sometimes? I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, you start.
Okay. This doesn't sound like a speech like you're trusting the process. This sounds like you're not trusting the process. Sounds like you're questioning a lot from the manager. And you know what's crazy? Is it, like I said, it happens every year. It takes a loss to Man United for these kind of things to be said, these kind of conversations to be open. And this is my problem. If this is how you look at football, then why don't you say it when things are going well? That, listen, we can get more from Eze. We can get, Odegaard's not performing. Why is Saka, being isolated on the far right wing? Why is it that we're not utilizing Gyökeres in the right place? Why is it that Odegaard, why is he playing in the 10 when he's more an 8? Why don't these men don't say that at when the moments are going good and say, yo, I can look at a performance and say, I'm happy that we got the points, but you know what? There's certain things that need to improve. There's certain things that certain players we're not getting the most out. Then when we get an L, all of a sudden we want to do analysis. This is my problem. Because where was this kind of analysis from these guys when things were going good? I don't really see it. It's very and even when he's saying it, oh, well, I don't know as much as Arteta, blah, 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 blah. Bro, at the end of the day, your eyes don't deceive you. Eze is not looking as good as Palace. Odegaard has been going down for the last 2 seasons. Saka's been regressing under this manager's watch. We're not been playing into Gyökeres' strengths week in, week out. It's okay to say it. But they always have to put this disclaimer that, I'm not against the manager. I don't know as much as him. I'll never be him. But, bro, just give your opinion. You're on any platform, YouTube, TikTok, whatever the case may be, to give your opinion. So at the end of the day, you don't need to suck off the manager before you say anything. You can just say what you got to say. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's this whole thing of, I'm not against the manager, but there's about 6-7 players he just ruled off that he's like, yo, I think we're misprofiling. Well, guess what? Your manager has been Versatility FC for the longest. And you man were behind it when he started doing the versatility thing. You man were behind it when it was Zinchenko left back. You man were behind it when he played Partey at right back. You man were behind it when he was playing Havertz in the 10. He ain't a 10. Do you know what I'm saying? His place should be on the bench. You man were behind it with all of that. Martinelli playing on the wing when he's a striker, not a winger. You man were full of that. You man were with it when he's playing 3 midfielders, 3 DMs in the midfield. 3 DMs in the midfield. You man were with it with all of these experiments. So now, when you're saying he's misprofiling, well, welcome to Versatility FC. Well, this is what happens in Versatility FC. Let's continue. Let's continue.
And in rest defence, waiting to win possession back. Again, that's just some players that I look at and I think, are we really putting them in the right areas of the pitch sometimes? I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, it starts deeper in the team. I think the midfield at the moment is imbalanced.
Yeah.
I think there's too many rotations in our midfield, whether it's Rice going forward or Odegaard dropping deep or Zubimendi stepping forward. It's all too complex for me. And that is, I think, Mikel Arteta overthinking it. I think he's so desperate.
Once again, you guys were for the Versatility FC aspect of this manager. So when you guys praised it, the manager's going to continue it. When I remember when certain part of this fan base was doing starting 11s and saying we've got 15 or 20 flipping versatility lineups and stuff like that. When you man are now talking about, oh, I think there's been too much chop and change from the start of the season, I said we've just got the goal scorer. He needs to have chemistry with the number 10. We have to play him with the number 10 we're going to go with this season. This manager was playing DMs in the 10. Then he's playing Eze. Then he's dropping Eze, putting Ødegaard. Then he's dropping him. Then he's putting Eze back in. And this is what you get. I've been calling this out from early. These men are late to the party. I've been calling this out from the start of the season. There's been no chemistry and no relationship built between our new striker, our starting striker, and our number 10. The number 10 and the cohesion between the 6 and the 8. Declan Rice wants to go forward, Zubimendi wants to go forward. Then Declan Rice has to get back and defend, Zubimendi doesn't get back and defend, he's out of position. We've had a lack of chemistry for a long time. Saka's been all over the place. I don't even know he's got chemistry with anymore. Now that Ødegaard's fallen off, he's fallen off as well. So that little partnership that we used to have, Ødegaard and Saka, even that's fallen apart. It's all crazy. I've been calling this out from the start of the season, but I get told I'm negative, I'm toxic, I'm twerking. Oh, I don't want to see Arsenal successful. Oh, you're doing it for rivals. It's incredible seeing how now they're starting to sound like me. But anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The moment is imbalanced.
Yeah.
I think there's too many rotations in our midfield, whether it's Rice going forward or Ødegaard dropping deep or Zubimendi stepping forward. It's all too complex for me. And that is, I think, Mikel Arteta overthinking it. I think he's so desperate to get us over the line. And obviously the core principles of his game are this defensive solidity and control, that he's now tried to think almost too outside of the box to try and solve our attacking problems. Have Ødegaard high up the pitch where he needs to be, where he can impact the game. Have Zubimendi at the base dictating. Have Rice box to box. I think that's where it stems from. Then you look further up the pitch and, okay, we're struggling to free up our wingers of the doubling up that we face pretty much every week. But the answer to that is not to have Jurien Timber playing like a centre forward. It's not to have Nkapie or Calafiori doing that. You've got to find other ways of platforming, as you put it, James, your best players. And I think what he's done is where...
Okay. So this manager has a problem, like I've been saying, actually building a cohesive team and actually getting the right players at the right places. And this whole versatility thing has been a gimmick because he clearly doesn't know his players' best attributes. I said this when we had Jesus. I said this when we had Zinchenko. I've been saying it about Ødegaard. I've been saying it about Zubimendi. Do you remember Jorginho when man were telling me he was a DM? And now man want to tell me that Zubimendi's a DM. Neither one of them have the attributes to be a DM and shield that back line. Neither one of them. And who has been misprofiled that whole time with these players? Oh, it was Arteta that misprofiled them. These man don't sound like they're trusting the process, bro. These man don't sound like they're trusting the process. I don't know why you man got so many complaints. That's a lot of complaints coming from you lot. It's sounding very toxic, very negative, extremely negative from you, man. That pedal and push this process and push this man. Sounding very, very negative. Do you know what I mean? What happened to we're top of the league, though? What happened to we're 4 points clear? What happened to just get behind the boys? It's funny, innit? It's funny, innit? Let's continue.
He's sort of drilled certain things into these players to give them the structure, the defensive solidity, all of which is great. He's taken something else away inadvertently. I don't think he's done it deliberately. I don't think it's what he wants, but I think he's taken that autonomy away from players. So in that instance that you've mentioned there with Ødegaard, Ødegaard in the past might have turned and gone, let my instinct take over here and I'm going to do what I should do.
Yeah.
Whereas because there's this emphasis on control, making sure we look after the ball, protecting it, not leaving ourselves vulnerable to the transition, your mindset changes now. And now you're second guessing yourself and you're thinking about things too much.
Yeah.
So he's taken away from the attackers. But we've seen him do it in 22-23. We've seen Arteta be able to coach an attack. So he's doing it on purpose. So now you guys are not trusting the process because you think he's getting it wrong. So why don't you not just say that? So he's not getting the best out of his attackers. But you, man, told us that Gyökeres is the missing piece. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny how things change, isn't it? It's funny how things were all good about a week ago. It's crazy. Let's continue. I found this very, very interesting, this conversation. Very, very interesting. Let's continue. Very toxic, very negative.
Drilling them to be that cautious, and like you said, he may look at Ødegaard and say, why didn't you turn through that gap?
Yeah.
But equally, we've seen, as an example, Eze, at least to us, seemingly got heavily punished for the mistake he made against Villa away, where after that he struggled. Waneri definitely struggled with the kind of physical side of the midfield role, tracking back. Jules, he's kind of been phased out of the squad almost until he can come back stronger, and so it's like, maybe he's not drilling them to do these things and be cautious, but when they try things and they don't come off, or they do switch off, they get so heavily punished that it's like, okay, that's the main.
Listen to the line he just said. Oh, he's not coaching them to be cautious, but they get heavily punished when they go forward and express themselves. Did you just hear what you just said? How can he not coach them to be cautious, but then punishes them when they don't play cautiously and they actually try to influence the game and try to take the game by the scruff of the neck? How can both statements be true? This is what I'm saying. And when you don't listen carefully, yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I just find this interesting. How he heavily punishes them when they express themselves and go forward, but he doesn't coach them to be defensive minded. Great analysis there. Great analysis, Piers. Great analysis. Great analysis. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Focuses, don't lose the ball. And the issue is, the mistake for the first goal was Zubimendi's pass. You're kind of thinking, if you were on the edge of their box, you wouldn't attempt a pass across the edge of their box, but you'll do it across the edge of ours. And it's like you're taking risks in the wrong areas.
Yeah,
so I think we're struggling with the attack, and I don't look at a single partnership that we currently have where week in, week out, that partnership works.
Yeah.
Like it used to be White, Ødegaard, Saka. You have three of them. Where I don't even look at two individuals at the moment where I go, that's really working. Calafiori and Trossard, I think, had a good relationship this season. Gyökeres hasn't built a good relationship with anyone, truthfully. We don't really see much of Jesus and Martinelli together, who in the past had a great one. But yeah, again, that's another thing where I'm like, it's great having this massive depth that we've got, but is all of that rotation?
So now man ain't believing in the rotation. Man ain't believing that there's any partnerships in the team. Man ain't believing that we're doing well enough. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. I thought they're going to all grow together and become world-class together. What's going on? There's a lot of if-buts, a lot of things you man ain't happy with, a lot of performances, individuals, the manager not getting it right, a lot of attacking partnerships not getting right. The attack is not fluid. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Interesting. Very interesting. Let's continue.
It's the fact that in the opening sort of 10, 15 games of the season, we saw 10, 12 different attacking lineups. Has that prevented some of the sort of cohesion that you need?
You don't want him at the base of your midfield. You don't want him in an 8 position. So what he's almost doing is he's sort of platforming these players that have that versatility, but then we're losing that attacking edge. We're losing that attacking edge because our most devastating players in the final third are not platformed to do what they should be doing. And James, I want to get your take on this, because one of my big frustrations with Mikel at the weekend was the 4-man substitution at once.
Yeah.
Wow. Now we're going to analyzing the fact that you didn't like the 4-man sub. This is crazy for the side of the fence that support this manager. This is a lot of question marks on everything he's doing. Not getting the best out of the attack. Not liking the 4-man substitution. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue.
Don't know why he thought that would work. I guess he was probably frustrated with the performance. He might have looked at it and
And this is an issue, I think, with Ødegaard at the moment, who I think is in real danger of losing his place in the starting lineup. That's back-to-back Premier League games that he's been taken off before the hour mark when we need a goal. Is that if you're not offering what we need from a creative perspective and you're losing a lot of those duels and you look a little bit soft in midfield at the moment, then it's going to have to be someone else. And so the one probably that just didn't work and maybe didn't need to happen at that.
But didn't you put a starting 11 where you put Slabberslide over Odegaard and saying that he's having a really good season? Now you're saying Odegaard is at risk of losing his spot in the team. Which one is it? Which one is it? Because man was talking about Odegaard's having a great season. Now you're talking about Odegaard could potentially lose his place in the team. Which one is it? I don't know. Because I've been calling out Odegaard's performances this season and saying he's not good enough and he's not fit to wear the captain's armband. Now these men are saying, this is crazy. And this is why I clipped this up. Because I just find this, I find it amusing that I'm now hearing these things. But when I say it, well, negative. Get behind the boys. You're just looking for problems. Okay, let's continue.
So seeing be spoken about online that, you know, we shouldn't be groaning about misplaced passes and stuff like that. I get it. And it's a natural reaction. And as fans, sport, even beyond football, works because as fans, we're emotional and our emotional reactions, we celebrate when a goal goes in, you know, we groan for a misplaced pass. You can't help that. You can't avoid it. And it is a
Oh, okay. So we can't help or avoid when we're critical of performances and players putting bad performances in. Okay. So next time I analyze players and their poor performances, I don't want to hear nothing from these man. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nobody, no top gooner in my chat telling me about you're being negative. A top gooner just said it's part of football. When you misplace passes, you're having a bad performance. It's unavoidable in sport. You will criticize. No problem. Let's continue.
bit of a cycle at the moment of nervous performances are breeding nervous fans, which are breeding a nervous atmosphere, which breeds nervous performances. But the people that have to fix that are the players. They're the elite sportsmen, paid a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
They're meant to have the mentality and the mindset to ignore that. And so, in that perspective, I don't blame the fans at all. And also, I think fans leaving, going into injury time, that's something that just winds me up beyond belief. When you look at the amount of people trying to get tickets for the games, I'm like, it was absolutely devastating, Cunha's goal going in. But it's going to be such a low points tally season. Every point matters. Stick around for the final 7 minutes. Try and get an equaliser. Come on.
If I could add...
The point on the style of football, I think, is hugely important. Arsene Wenger said something on beIN Sports over the course of the last few days. He said, the people, you can't fool them. They know what they're watching. They pay their hard-earned money. They come. They know what they're watching. And if they're not satisfied with it, they're entitled to sort of voice that frustration.
Thank you, Wenger. Thank you very much. Somebody that's actually a club legend. You know what I'm saying? He is a club legend. Sad the way it went, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you can't fool us. You ain't been fooling me. And everything you guys have been criticizing in these clips, I've been saying. Because I analyze what I see. I analyze what I see with my own eyes. I analyze where it goes wrong. I analyze the deficiencies of this manager. Yes, he's got some things right. But there's a lot of things he's repeating from previous seasons that led to us not winning the league. And it's the truth. You ain't going to fool. Well, listen, he's been fooling this fan base for 6 years. Let's see if this fan base has the same energy at the end of the season. The only way my energy is going to change is if this manager wins me a major honor. But there's still things that I do not like about Arteta's management, his game style, his in-game management, the way he utilized certain players, favoritism, not using certain players when they're in form. These are issues. But let's continue.
And I think it is about the style. I think it is about the fact that we're not peppering teams. It is about the fact that we've gone and invested in all this forward talent. And if we're being honest about it, most of the players that we've brought in have not actually raised the level of the team. Have they raised the level of the squad in terms of what we can turn to when we've got problems? But is the team that much better? Like, Ezza's not raised the bar for Arsenal, neither has Gyökeres, neither has Madueke. Zubimendi, I think, is a good player in his own right. And I know we can have the Thomas Partey discussion, we won't, but Thomas Partey was not a far inferior player.
What? Why can't we have the discussion about Zubimendi and Partey? Why would we not? Why are we going around that? Why? Because man gassed up Zubimendi, and now he's actually not performing anywhere near the level of Thomas Partey. Why are we not having that discussion? Why not? Why can't we have that discussion? Because you man got excited. That's why. Zubimendi's nowhere near the level of Thomas Partey, and that's a fact. Not defensively, not his passing, nothing. He's not on the level. And all the glazing about, but he does it for Spain. Well, guess what? He hasn't been doing it for my club, innit? And I support Arsenal. So at the end of the day, if you're not doing it in the Prem, that's where I analyse your performances. And he hasn't been doing it on a consistent basis. He's been actually one of our biggest liabilities. Let's continue.
To Martin Zubimendi, in my opinion. So actually we've done all this to bolster the squad, but have we actually raised the top level? I think people are starting to feel that with the fact that you're bringing these players off the bench and nothing's changing.
Yeah. The lack of urgency when we are chasing a game and almost a sense of we're not willing to do everything to win it. And so I wonder, again, talking about the fans, whether they feel that, like, why should we chant and scream louder and really kind of try and force it over the line where it doesn't look like on the pitch you're running and doing the things that makes us feel like you're trying to force it over the line. So I think it's just a bit of a cycle, really. I think this Arsenal team under Arteta can play good football.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay, very interesting. Very interesting, because I saw Arteta saying that the fans need to get behind us. He says this all the time. Fans need to get behind us. Fans need to support. But there we have James saying something that I agree with. Yeah, actually, I've agreed with a lot of their takes. I'm just saying their takes are very inconsistent from what I see. James saying, why should we push the team on when it doesn't look like on the pitch they want to bury games? Like they want to kill off the team. Like they want to get over the line. I'm talking about within the Premier League, because in the Champions League so far, we have looked to kill off games. Why are we not doing that in the Prem? Yet the manager looks at us as a fan base and says, well, why are you not pushing us over the line? Well, we're not watching a style of football that looks like you guys want to bury the team and kill it off. We did it against Leeds. Did we do it against Man United? Did we do it against Everton? There's a lot of times we don't look to kill off the game. We're just happy with a 1-0 and sit back and it doesn't matter. We didn't kill off the game against Sunderland. We didn't kill it. We didn't kill Chelsea off. So I agree. I hope these men continue with these takes and it doesn't change now that we beat Leeds. Let's continue.
And also think they can find solutions. 23-24, the first half wasn't brilliant, but then that second half was amazing when he tweaked things a little bit with Kai Havertz up front and stuff. I wonder what Arteta's got up his sleeve, because I don't think he'll be happy with what he's seeing. I just don't think...
I do think he'll be happy what he's seeing, because he's been coaching this now for about, 3-4 years now that we've been playing this defensive style football. So, yeah, I think he is happy with what he's seeing. This has exactly been created by the architect, Arteta himself. So I don't think he's going to change it. It's exactly how he wants the team to play, which is why whether you play Eze or Odegaard, they play exactly the same. It's down to the way he interprets the number 10. The wingers play exactly the same most of the time. Madueke tries to do something, but most of the time he wants his wingers to be robotic. He wants his midfield to be robotic. It's the same odd. So he's very happy with this. But let's continue. I don't know how a manager can be at a club. Numerous different types of players with different attributes. He doesn't get the most out of those attributes. And you're saying he's not happy with the style of football. No. If everyone's looking the same, it's because he's coaching that into them. He wants everyone to play the same way. He doesn't want expression. He doesn't want to dominate games. He doesn't want to kill off games. That's not the brand of football that this manager's implemented into this team anymore. 22-23, that was a long time ago. That's about 3 years ago. Since then, this is the brand of football that we've seen on a consistent basis. Yeah, you can point to one-off games, but on a consistent basis, this is exactly how he wants the team to play. Let's continue. Let's go.
It's the fear of it being Unai Emery that makes it worse for me, honestly, because there's this thing that keeps happening every time we play them or we drop points to them, where people start to become really revisionist and say he should have stayed and he should have had more time. He's absolutely the right manager for Villa. He wasn't the right manager for Arsenal. That is fact, and that's my worry about them. I do wonder with him.
Hold on a second. Why is Unai Emery not the right manager for Arsenal? Why wasn't he not the right manager for Arsenal? Let's just be real. I'm going to play devil's advocate right now. Why is Unai Emery, after one season, deemed not good enough? But Arteta, 6 seasons, it's still out for debate if he's good enough. Every time Arteta's come short, it's always been he didn't have his squad. Did Unai Emery have his squad? Did he have 6 years? Did he have £1 billion? Did he get half of the support this manager's got? Even half of it. He didn't even get half of the support this manager's got. Let's just be honest about it. But you man were quick to deem, nah, not good enough. Finishing 5th wasn't good enough under Unai Emery. But Arteta finishing 8th and 5th, that's okay. That's a process. That's a project. That's something to get behind. That's something to say, oh yeah, down the line, he's going to get us over the line. Why wasn't Unai Emery given the same leeway as Arteta? Why not? And when people are saying, the players were falling out with the manager, well, you man didn't rate that squad anyway. You man said we needed to have a rebuild anyway, so why does it matter? He got us to a European final and he got us 5th. Let's just be real. I'm just playing devil's advocate because I don't understand how you can give this manager so much time for finishing lower twice and then finishing 5th. That's not sackable with more money spent within that time on the squad. But when it's Unai Emery, he lost the squad and he wasn't given the money, but nah, it's not good enough, you got to go. Seems like 2 different standards for 2 different managers. Seems like one manager you liked and one manager you didn't like. But one actually had the CV, the other one didn't. This is what's quite funny to me. Why isn't Unai Emery needed a whole squad? Why didn't Unai Emery need 6 years? Why not? He's got a better CV. And the players that he's falling out with, most of you man didn't want them to be here anyway. Rebuild, remember? I find that funny. Yeah, I'm saying I find that funny. I see the bar being moved. I see the goalpost being moved. But anyway, let's continue.
Does he get a little bit further in the Europa League though and go, right, this is my thing? And does he start to prioritise in a way that sees them drop off in the league? So that's part of the reason why I'm not as fearful of them still at this stage.
Yeah, I do think they've also gone through the season with, you know, they have a very clear identity, but a lot of teams hadn't really respected the level that they were.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting conversation. Let's get to the next one. Let's see the reactions after the Leeds game. You know, a lot of this fan base is going to be giddy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get straight into it.
Oh, yo. Keep performing like that, I'll give you whatever you want, bro. To be honest with you, very good, especially in that first half. The link-up play between Havertz with the midfield and playing it through the wings. I even heard Arteta during the week talking about having enjoyment, having that free-flowing football. I liked how Havertz, who was playing number 10, was picking up the ball from the left side, from the right side, was going all over the pitch, being in that second striker role. That for me is kind of where he thrives, when he can just be where he wants to be, and having him back has been massively important for us. And even to give credit to the manager, when you look at the subs that came on, Martinelli, fantastic assist for the Gyökeres goal. Odegaard I thought played very well when he came on as well, playing with a bit more urgency, playing the ball, threading it quicker. I liked what I saw today. It was a perfect performance, and now we go on 7 points clear. City, better do your job, yo.
Let's just pause it right there. How was that a perfect performance from Kai Havertz? He didn't do anything. I just don't get it. Like, they have an obsession with some of these players that they can't analyze their performances properly. I've seen it with Zubimendi, I've seen it with Jesus, and now I'm seeing it with Jesus. I'm not a fan of. He came on against Leeds and he impacted that game really well. Good link-up play, took his goal well, was driving forward, was looking dangerous. Kai Havertz didn't have that level of impact and he started the game. Madueke, man of the match against Leeds. Do you know what I'm saying? Man of the match against Leeds. I don't rate Madueke. So I have no problem giving credit to players that I don't rate if they have a good performance. I have no problem with that. But what are we praising Kai Havertz for? What did he do in the time that he was on the pitch against Leeds? What did he do? I didn't see him do anything. I didn't see no defense splitting passes. I didn't see any good shots. I didn't see him traveling with the ball. I didn't see him taking on players. I didn't see him dragging the team forward. I didn't see him adding anything to our attack. And you're saying great performance, give him whatever he wants. And this is why this fan base, I swear they never learn. Esses gajos são malucos. Esses gajos não sabem o que é futebol. Esses gajos não sabem o que é futebol. Porra, bro. Let's just continue, bruv.
5 things we learned from Leeds United 0, Arsenal 4. 1. Arteta learns. Starting Havertz over Ødegaard, a more natural number 10 whose movement opens up space. His partnership with Gyökeres works nicely, complementing each other's game. Gyökeres finally has someone to link up with. 2.
What? What are we talking about? It wasn't even Havertz that led to flipping Gyökeres' goal. It was Madueke. I'm seeing more understanding between Martinelli and Gyökeres and Madueke. I'm seeing more partnerships being brought on like that. I'm seeing Martinelli consistently provide for Gyökeres or some once in a while, more than others. I'm seeing Madueke provide for Gyökeres. I'm not seeing anybody else providing for Gyökeres. So this whole myth about, Kai Havertz is linking up with Gyökeres. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, bro. No, he wasn't. He wasn't finding Gyökeres. What are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? Let's this Havertz glaze is mad. They've been waiting for Havertz to come back, and now they're just glazing it. Let's continue. Man.
Madueke delivers. No Bukayo Saka after picking up a hip injury in the warm-up. Madueke ensured no problem, getting his first Premier League since December 2024. The 412-day wait is over. 3. Gyökeres fires back, scoring in back-to-back games for the first ever time in his Arsenal career. His hold-up play was much more sharper, with 11 goals so far this season, 6 coming in the Premier League, going head-to-head with own goal to become Arsenal's top goal scorer. 4. Get Ødegaard on the left. His first assist in 7 games after being benched by Mikel Arteta. The message was clear: either improve your performance or sit on the Arsenal bench, to then get the assist coming off the left-hand side. There's something about Ødegaard that looks far more dangerous when he plays there. 5.
He made the most obvious, simplest pass to Gabriel Jesus. Let's just be honest. What are we doing here? Like, Odegaard is not back. He wasn't that great. Cool, he got 1 assist. Okay, let's relax about Odegaard is back to his bed. Let's relax. Just relax. You know what I'm saying? These man needs, bro. But let's continue. This guy overgasses everything. But let's continue.
Silence the critics, as Arsenal won for the first time in 4 Premier League games after all the yap that Arsenal fans had to bear. United fans talking about how they've ruined the Arsenal season. The response has been telling. 7 goals scored in the last 2 games. 10 big chances created against Havertz. Then 6 today against Leeds. Zubimendi scoring his 5th goal of the season. Jesus influential off the bench. For an Arsenal squad that was so strong that there wasn't even space for Marino, Lewis Skelly or Northside on the Arsenal bench. For the first time since April 2000, Arsenal have won 5 away matches in a single calendar month. 5 things.
And the myth, the legend. Who is Arsenal's mystery top goal scorer? He's a man that we didn't even sign in the summer. He's a man that nobody thought we could get. It's another person added to our Arsenal. Get it? He goes by the name of OG, not original gangster. Own Goal FC! That's who our top scorer is! They called us Set Piece FC! They called us Dark Arts FC! Now they can call us Own Goal FC! How the hell do we score 5 own goals? They used to praise Wenger for his beautiful football. Now we have a manager who scores bloody own goals. I love every moment of it. I prefer this. The more haram ball this is. Please, I want more. Arsenal are so good that our mystery top goal scorer, well, not so mystery now, Mr. OG is causing havoc in the final third. Shout out Mr. Arteta for another attack in our Arsenal. Shout out to Mr. OG. Own Goal FC.
Welcome to my fan base. Welcome to my fan base. You know what I'm saying? They're all complaining about the way that we play football against Man United. Now it's shout out to Mr. Ongo. Oh, we're so excited that Ongo FC. Oh, he's our top goal scorer. This is shameless, bro. This is actually shameless. But welcome to Arsenal fan base, bro. This is what I got to put up with every day, bro. I don't even know how to break that down because it's just welcome. Just welcome. Yeah, I mean, just welcome. Welcome. Let's continue.
Jordan at TalkSport. No one's talking about Arsenal winning a treble. I mean, Arsenal are top of the Champions League by a mile. They're in the League Cup semi-final, and they've won the first leg. They're in the FA Cup. They're top of the Premier League. If this were another club, if this were Liverpool, the media circus would be saying, there's a treble on here. There's a quadruple on here. No one's mentioned anything. And it's because Arsenal have created the narrative for themselves 3 years ago. It's like anything. The first impression is the one that lasts longest. Arsenal bottled the Premier League 3 years ago, and until they get across the line, it's a very easy and lazy go-to, which is they haven't got the mental strength. This is a completely different Arsenal side and a better manager.
Let's just start down there. Simon Jordan is talking absolute rubbish right now. Absolute rubbish. You're saying it's a completely different squad, but then even the top gooners are saying the additions that we made in the summer have not made the impact expected. And we all know that they bring a lot of quality and a lot more than what the players that they're replacing in the starting 11 bring to the game. Man saying an easy go-to. Man said, oh, they bottled it 3 years ago. No, we've been bottling league titles, bro. We've been bottling league titles. So why are you only mentioning 22-23 as if that's the only time we've been in the title race? This is a load of rubbish. We're supposed to say that it's a different team. We play the same way. We have the same inconsistencies in players that get minutes, players that get favoritism, style of play, not getting the most out of certain players on the decline, Saka on the decline, Odegaard on the decline, new players being brought in. They're looking just as bad as the players that they were supposed to replace. But we're supposed to sit here and listen to Mr. Simon Jordan telling us that it's all reactionary and it's all because first impression. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? When you bottle a league title, when you bottle any title, you go back and you start looking at where you bottled it, where you went wrong, and you rectify that. 3 years on, we're still making the same mistakes. How is it reactionary? How is this team completely different? It's not completely different. It's got better personnel, but we're still playing the same way and we're still being managed and coached in the same way. Where is the difference? Gyökeres is supposed to be the missing piece. He scored against Leeds. Why didn't he start against Man United? That is the exact reason why he was brought here. To win big games, to score loads of goals and get us over the line. So what are you talking about? We've had horrendous performances this season. We've had performances where we got away with it and now it's caught up with us in certain games. But it's reactionary. Why people don't put Arsenal in the conversation of, oh, why they're not winning a treble is because, first of all, we never won a Champions League in our history. Second of all, this manager can't even get us a Prem. Had he won it in 22-23, yeah, there'll be a lot more people talking about it because he's actually been able to win a major. This guy struggles to win a major. And when we're gonna do a proper analysis on Arsenal, we go out of the cups early to focus on winning the Premier League. That's what we've been doing the last couple of seasons under Mikel Arteta. And we failed to get the objective over the line. We failed to win the Premier League, even when we dismissed the Carabao and this and that. So he struggled to focus and win one competition. Why should I believe he's going to win 3? Why should I? Based on what? Based on what? When he's been throwing away the cups this whole time he's been here. Since the first year that he won the FA Cup, he's not taken them serious. And he's focused on the Premier League and failed at every single opportunity. What are we talking about? Let's continue.
It's funny because I wondered when the mainstream, like working in this space, you come up with these things and then it's just how many weeks or months or days before the mainstream do it. Literally was saying this last week. I said, why aren't people talking about Arsenal winning a quadruple or a treble? Because they're in everything. And yet, if it was Liverpool or Man City, Lineker and co would have been talking about it from Christmas. I'm not surprised Simon Jordan spoke about it because he's quite switched on and probably, fair play to him. But I did mention it last week. And he is right. It's because there is this perception that even in the Arsenal fan base, well, we haven't won the title in 20 years. We've never won the Champions League. So how can you use the word treble? Which is right, but it doesn't change the fact that we should be having the conversation. They're top of the Champions League. They're top of the Premier League. They're in the Carabao Cup and they're in the FA Cup.
So you just said that it's right not to believe that we're going to win the treble because we've never won the Champions League. We haven't won the Prem in 20 odd years and Arteta's bottled it every single time, but we should have the conversation. The conversation's not being had of a treble because we're not even 100% sure that we can even win the league. We have the squad to win the league. The players are good enough. The manager's not showing how good this squad really is and is holding him back. That is why we're not having that kind of conversation. That's why. That's why. You just answered it and said it's right. But I don't get it. I really don't get it. This glazing for Arsenal fans is mad, bro. Like, at the end of the day, just win me a major. And I'm not even asking for a treble. Just win me a major. He wins the Prem, he can keep his job. He wins the Champions League, he can keep his job. Just win me one major. Because I don't think this guy is going to be able to win more than one trophy this season if he does win a trophy. But until then, prove me wrong. You prove me wrong? Cool, I'll put my hands up and say, cool, you prove me wrong. Until then, I ain't having those conversations because I remember us being 8 points clear in the Premier League and bottling it.
And any other season, anybody else should be saying in the treble. The only reason we're not is because, well, it's Arsenal. They're the bridesmaids. They're never the bride. But they are. But they've never been in this position before. They've never ran away with the Champions League, and they've never been this strong in the Premier League. They're massive favourites. I know they've been top in the Premier League in the last 2 or 3 years, but they weren't really favourites. Everyone was like, can they do it? Can they do it? They're favourites. If they don't win the Premier League, this is... I don't think some of the titles Arsenal haven't won in the last 3 years are bottle jobs. I think that's just bantering. This would be a bottle job. I've seen Arsenal fans last year go, well, if he should be sacked. He's bottled it. And I was like, he hasn't had the striker. He hasn't had the bench. He has got the striker. He has got the bench. This is the perfect opportunity. If he doesn't win the league this year, that is...
Let me just stop there. This whole thing about, oh no, this year is different analysis because now he does have the squad, he does have the bench. Did Leicester have the squad and the bench when they won the Prem? Because nobody's going to sit here and tell me that Leicester recruited a team because they knew this team, we invested in a team that is ready. We got the bench, we got the squad to go and win the Premier League. Ranieri got the most out of that squad and he got them over the line. But nobody's going to tell me that that squad was built to win the Premier League. But the manager coached them into winning it. Nobody's going to tell me that what was his name? Ange had a squad that was built to win the Europa League. They didn't have a bench and a squad that was, it was designed to win the Europa League. It wasn't. But he won it. It was Eddie Howe's Newcastle. Was that squad built to be winning FA Cups? I'll argue no. No. But he won it. What about Crystal Palace? But they won a trophy. So what are we talking about? Like, we haven't seen managers that haven't had a squad that's built to win a trophy and they still go out there and win a trophy. It can be done. This whole argument of Arteta needs his whole squad, Arteta needs all of this and that, and it's not a bottle job because I've seen teams win trophies that they weren't necessarily built to go win those trophies. I've seen Portsmouth win the FA Cup. I've seen loads of teams win trophies that they weren't necessarily built to win certain trophies. Jose Mourinho at Man United said it was his biggest achievement to win the Europa League. And we know that how many bums they had at that time in that Man United squad. I'm not hearing any of this, bro. I'm not hearing any of this. It's just excuses. Conte going to Chelsea, changing it up, back three, all of a sudden got the most out of the team. Was that team built to win the league? But he gets over the line. Slot goes into Liverpool. Everyone's saying they need a rebuild. Everyone says they need signings. That team needs a rebuild. Goes into that squad, wins the league. Everyone said that squad wasn't ready to win the major honour anymore. So I'm not hearing this, bro. I'm not hearing this. I'm not hearing it. It's all excuses for this manager, bro. It's all excuses for this manager. Let's continue. I've seen actually, before we continue, I've seen Ancelotti be at Real Madrid, have no out-and-out striker, playing flipping Vinny and Rodrigo up front that are wingers and win a trophy. They didn't have a complete squad. They didn't have the striker, like you mentioned, to go and win the Champions League, but they won it. I'm not hearing it, bro. These men like to make excuses, bro.
A different definition of bottle job. But they should be looking to win the treble. And if it's in their heads, we can't do it because we're bottle jobs, then I'd be very surprised by that. So, look, we should be having that conversation. The only thing I would say is that Liverpool were top of the Champions League and got knocked out by PSG. It's a tough tournament to win. People were telling me Man City were in crisis last week. People were doing Man City. I mean, I'm the king of in crisis videos. And I said, I'm not doing a Man City in crisis video because they're not in fucking crisis. They've had an injury crisis, but they've just bought Gehi and Semenyo. They're definitely not in crisis. They'll bounce back and they will have a go at this title. But no, I agree. I think Arsenal will win the league, Terry. And I don't know about the Champions League, but I bet they'll win 2 trophies this year. I think they will win 2 trophies.
They've got a great chance. I sort of...
So you don't believe that we're going to win the treble, but you want us to have treble talks, but you don't think we should just have the talks. Why? You don't even believe it yourself. You just said, I think the maximum they'll do is a double. I still don't feel like we're going to do a double, but it's down to this club to prove me wrong. It's down to this club to prove me wrong. But there you go, man. This is what it's like around here. This is how it is. You know what I mean? This is how it is. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. But for me, I just find it very interesting how the talks always change from this fan base as soon as we as soon as we start dropping points, all of a sudden the conversation changes. All of a sudden people want to have certain talks that they didn't want to have before. It's all mad. It's actually mad. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up to everyone that is locked in. And we're going to redirect to the Man United game. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Northside raid on the way in. And I'll see you guys later. Love.